Hi, this is Eve Monique. Welcome.
Today we are going to be talking about sexual fantasies.
And then what?
Yeah, and then what?
Because we all have them.
That's for sure. And some people actually feel kind of badly that they have sexual fantasies, but they have them anyway.
Mm-hmm. Most sexual fantasies stay pretty hidden, and you engage them in your mind and sometimes with yourself, but not so much in the open.
Yeah, and they can get provoked any kind of day or night, those sexual fantasies.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And mostly it's difficult to talk about them because you're kind of afraid to expose this very private part of yourself.
Yes, I've been doing, yes. Recently, I've actually exposed some of my sexual fantasies. My partner and I, we kind of agreed that we
Mm-hmm.
would share sexual fantasies,
Mm-hmm.
and with the intention actually of bringing them out into action.
And how did that feel to start doing that?
Well, first of all, the conversation about sexual fantasies is in itself, I found that really meaningful. And but in doing it, I realized that I had some, I think, self-judgment that I had those fantasies, and I think I've kept them in the dark for quite a while. So it was, first of all, it was really good to bring them out into the open with my partner. And interestingly, my partner's fantasies and my fantasies kind of meshed.
Aha.
That was
good.
Yeah, that was good.
But it must have been pretty scary to start talking about it.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't. What were you afraid of?
Well, I think I was afraid of being judged for having those fantasies,
Mm-hmm.
and that maybe she would pull away.
Reject you.
Yes, that she would
think, oh, he's creepy.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. I think I had some of that judgment on myself also.
Oh.
That,
yeah.
You know, and it's not like, well, okay, so one was, I wanted to use a whip and dominate her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty far out, because a lot of women have a fantasy about being submissive and surrender to like a force. A lot of women, I feel, including myself, have had fantasies about like a rape, but that doesn't mean you want to be raped or thinking about, oh, I wish I would get raped. No, what you're actually wanting is that force that dominates you and you submit to somebody else in a very safe, loving environment.
Yeah. And I think that was a really key thing, because I know that once we'd agreed that we were going to do this, live out this fantasy that I had together, I really felt like, well, I really wanted to do a good job in a way and take care of her. I wanted to dominate her, but I felt something like I really wanted to do it in a way. I didn't want to hurt her, but I did want to feel that feeling. But, it was very interesting that how it played out was different to what, in a way, my fantasy was.
What was the difference?
Well, when we actually did it, like, there was such an energetic, sensual, like immediately I, was tingling and so completely turned on. And so was she, that it was almost like the actual...
like a great love connection in it.
It was like an explosion of love and sexuality. It was just like, way more than my fantasy. My fantasy in a way was, it was almost like seeing a movie scene, I would be there and she would have a butt up in the air and I would take that crop and, but then the reality of doing it. And also I think there was something as well about letting each other in at that level. The trust created also a lot of love and feeling between us.
Connection and expression. There you actually allow yourself to be more of yourself, and you give permission, whether that's whatever side, your fantasy or whatever way your fantasy takes. If you can be more of yourself, just releasing those fantasies, give yourself more permission to be who you are. Because you don't allow yourself to feel. And of course there's a difference, because your mind is just your mind. None any other part of your body was engaged with your fantasy. When you're really actually doing it, then the whole thing comes alive in it, and it's of course a way better experience than just in your mind.
Yes. Yeah, the mind can't really kind of imagine the kind of the energy and the sensuality and the passion that comes out.
Yeah, it goes a long way, because you have to allow it in your mind also. First they come up in your mind, and
Yeah.
and it also doesn't mean that every fantasy that comes in your mind that you have to act on it, or you
Right.
have to act it out. You have to really then look like, what do I want to act out?
Yeah.
And who can I do that with?
Right. One thing I have to say also, Eve, is that having, in a way, that was the first, in a way, fantasy exploration. And because that one kind of went so well,
Mm-hmm.
it gave both of us a lot of trust to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like opening a whole door
Mm-hmm.
into this world, this fantasy in action world.
Yeah.
And actually, altogether, I've gone from like keeping it like in this dark kind of secretive place that I don't want to share.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, well, why don't we try this? Or
yeah,
it's like
and
a whole.
suddenly becomes like a whole arena, and it becomes a whole exploration.
That's right.
And it's kind of fun, isn't it?
And it really is a lot of
and
fun.
it actually brings you closer to your partner if you expose yourself in that way.
Yes.
And if you then together give to each other your fantasies.
Right.
And that is a very good relationship that can do that.
Yeah.
And you can do that even with somebody that you're dating. If you're connected to the person and you can share about it, you don't have to be married to do your fantasies.
Yes.
You just have to allow yourself and be conscious of who you choose to talk to. And that's why talking is important.
Talking is really important. I mean,
if there's no connect,
Yeah.
to
The connection,
fantasies,
right.
even if your fantasies don't match up, then you still could give that to another person and explore it and be open enough to just go with what the one. You just give his fantasy, or give the fantasy, make it happen, and see what happens in you. Because the letting go into something that you're unfamiliar with and sometimes not even attracted to, you don't know what that's going to take you inside of yourself. That can be pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting. Hey, Eve.
Yeah.
Tell me about one of the fantasies that you've.
Yeah, I've had fantasies that I like to.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about what I'm going to share. Like, I like to meet my boyfriend in a bar and then like pretend we don't know each other. And then sometimes just go to the car and have sex and, be just completely in a different environment that somebody can caught us.
Oh, getting caught like by a police guy or a stranger or something?
Yeah, something like that, And
I could play that part.
Yeah, and do that, and then just the excitement and the thrill of doing it in a public place.
Yes.
That is pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
And then, and it's really fun. Now, my boyfriend and I like to do that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, and there's, and I also like to talk about my fantasies, and I like to hear about his. And then we, set up dates and we prepare for the date. And then we buy the things that we need, or we go over the scenario, we find a place for doing it. It's like becomes like a little vacation night with something that you do that you don't normally do.
That's right.
And it's pretty exciting, and it keeps it really juicy.
It keeps it really juicy. So if you folks out there who are watching this, you feel like you're needing a little spicing up and a little juice, share your fantasies and see if you can find a way of bringing them into reality.
Yeah, and go to sexandcare.com and look what's available that can help you out with it. We have a lot of good things that we sell in the store. So thank you very much, and explore your fantasies and take action. Good luck.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.